In football, there are very few things that are cooler than a well-executed lateral. It doesn't happen often because it's such a huge gamble where oftentimes you have to weigh the risk of losing possession with the benefit of gaining a few extra yards. But when it's done right, man is it fun to watch. On the other hand, when it's done wrong, it's absolutely embarrassing. It's on blooper reel after blooper reel. And folks, considering the circumstances behind this play and what happened afterwards, this might be the worst one of them all. A lateral so bad, so ill-advised, and so stupid that it knocked the team out of the playoff hunt. This is the story of the worst lateral attempt of all time. Before I show the play, we need a bit of context to fully understand the situation. The year is 1994, and the Indianapolis Colts are right in the thick of things for a playoff spot. Indy hadn't made the postseason since 1987, and they hadn't won a playoff game since 1971, when they were back in Baltimore and were only 1 year removed from their victory at Super Bowl V. But after 12 weeks and after defeating the lowly Cincinnati Bengals, they got a good shot at a postseason spot. There were 6 teams in the AFC within 1 game of the number 6 seed and 5 games to go. Plenty of time to make a push. And now, they had a home game against the division rival New England Patriots in front of a nationally televised ESPN audience on Sunday Night Football. And part of the reason why the Colts were in this playoff push was because they made a quarterback change. Jim Harbaugh, after spending 7 seasons in Chicago, signed in 1994 with the Colts, and took over the starting job after the Colts traded away Jeff George to the Falcons following that disaster. As a side note, check out the video in the upper right corner if you want to see some Jeff George highlights. But Harbaugh was struggling big time. In Week 5 against the Seahawks, he didn't throw a touchdown. In Week 6 against the Jets, the offense put up just 6 points, as he threw for a mere 95 yards and no touchdowns. And in Week 8 against Washington, he threw 2 interceptions and a loss, including a pick 6. Following that pick 6, Colts head coach Ted Marchibroda made the switch to the backup quarterback, former Packer one-year wonder Don Majkowski. In his first 3 starts, Majkowski wasn't great by any means, but the team went 2-1 and he had his moments. So now he was getting the start for this game against the Pats to try and get Indy back to 500 and keep their playoff hopes alive. This will become very relevant in a bit. Midway through the 4th quarter, the Colts led 10-9. But after New England led a drive down the field to set Matt Barr up for a 42-yard field goal, the Pats were up 12-10 with 4 minutes left in the game. Indy's got the ball near midfield, facing a 3rd and 6. It's 4-down territory, with the expectation that if the Colts lose the ball here, they're not getting it back. Now we've laid out the context. I'll let Chris Berman, in all his NFL primetime glory, take it from here.
12-10 late. Then watch Don Majkowski under 3 minutes to go. He's the magic man, right? Oops! The lateral to Marshall Faulk, intercepted by Harlon Barnett.
As you can clearly see, this was an ill-advised move for a whole bunch of reasons. Number 1, even if that defender wasn't there, Marshall Faulk is not getting the first down, nor is he getting anywhere close to a first down. Number 2, there was a defender blanketing him. At least with a lot of the other failed laterals I've seen, excluding the end of the game where it's desperation time, the problem comes with the execution, but not the play itself. The Josh Allen lateral, for instance, was an awful lateral, but I at least see what he was trying to do. There wasn't a defender standing right in front of Dawson Knox who would have intercepted that immediately. And number 3, the Pats got the ball back, and Indy never touched the ball again, losing 12-10. After the game, naturally, Don Majkowski faced a lot of heat for his decision, especially since it looked like it never should have even been a sack to begin with, as there seemed to be multiple Colts receivers open if he got rid of the ball fast enough. Majkowski took responsibility, saying that he should have went down with it, and that he didn't see the other guy. Then, he said, I tried to get the ball back, but it just wasn't a smart play. He tried to get the ball back. Run the tape again? Yeah, that's definitely what I call trying to get the ball back. I think even Albert Hainsworth would laugh at that one. Head coach Ted Marchibroda was dumbfounded by Majkowski's decision, saying, what else can you say? Don has been around long enough, and he knew what he did. We just have to get ready for the next one. And to make matters worse, this would literally be the last play that Majkowski had in the Hoosier Dome. This was his lasting legacy with the Colts. Following 2 road games, Marchibroda made the switch back to Jim Harbaugh to close out the season, and Majkowski never played another game in Indy again. It's crazy to think how this lateral might have even changed NFL history. New England made the postseason that year because they won this game. If Majkowski doesn't lateral the ball, he might remain the starter for the rest of the season, and possibly into 1995, meaning that the miracle season where the Colts came awfully close to Super Bowl 30 never happens. If Majkowski doesn't lateral the ball, and Harbaugh never gets his spot back, then Jim Harbaugh never winds up in the Colts Ring of Honor. There have been plenty of bad lateral attempts in NFL history, but good luck topping this one, because the Magic Man wasn't able to pull a rabbit out of his hat this time. Special thanks to all our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.